Hi everyone, thank you so much for clicking on my channel. I did a video a little while ago about my foundation collection and I had some interest in my concealer collection as well. So I'm going to try to keep this video shorter than my foundation collection, so I'm going to jump right in. I'm going to start with my drugstore and affordable concealers, and then I'm going to move to my more high-end, a little bit pricier concealers. So yes, let's just jump right in. Okay, so the first concealer that I want to talk about is the LA Girl Pro Conceal HD High Definition Concealer. These I bought at Walgreens.com and they run for about $2.99 a piece, and it has a huge color selection to choose from. So what I see a lot of people doing with these is using these for highlighting and contouring. They even have like a white one, I believe, that has a little bit of a shimmer in it that you can use for an actual highlighter, like on the tops of your cheekbones, or the bridge of your nose, and your cupid's bow, and all of that. But these are really good quality concealers for such an affordable price. Like I said, there's a huge color range, so you can find any color that you need for your skin tone. And they also blend really well, and they have good coverage. These are really great concealers. They're high definition, so the idea behind that is that they're supposed to be compatible with like HD filming and photography, so they're completely undetectable on camera, which is nice. The only thing with these ones is they dry quickly, so you have to work quickly with them. You see those videos of girls putting like all this war paint all over their face and then going in and blending them out. You can't really do that with these because by the time you finish one half of your face, like blending it, the other side will have dried and it will be harder to blend out. So you have to work quickly with these, but these are awesome. I love them. Go buy these. Okay, next I want to talk about my Maybelline Fit Me concealers. These are really awesome. They have good coverage, they blend out like a dream. They're very affordable. I can't remember exactly, but I think these are around $5 to $7 each. It has a decent color range. I find that most people work with the shade Light. The only thing about this concealer that I discovered was that it does have a very dewy finish. So if you have oily skin, you're probably not going to like this as much. Even when I was like setting this concealer with powder, I still found that after a few hours I was looking oily again. So this is really ideal for normal to dry skin. You can make it work for combination skin, but it's definitely not going to be like, you know, you can just chuck it on and forget about it all day. You would have to touch up, you know, with either blotting papers or, you know, tissue paper or some powder to keep from looking kind of like an oil slick all day long. But yeah, if you had normal to dry skin, the Maybelline Fit Me concealer is like, you're gonna love this concealer. It's so good. They have the whole Fit Me line. They have the Fit Me foundation, they have the Fit Me concealers, and they have the Fit Me powders. So those all work really well together. Yeah, so go pick this one up if you have normal to dry skin. You will love me for it. Mwah. This is the NYX HD concealer. To be honest, I haven't used this one in a really long time, so I'm like, did I love it? I don't really know. I kind of moved on to other things, but I was just kind of swatching it, and it reminds me of the Maybelline Fit Me concealer, except that I think it dries down a little more matte than the Maybelline Fit Me one. I think what I seem to remember about these is that they were a little bit drying. So if you have like dry under eye areas, you maybe aren't gonna love this as much. But these are HD, so again, they're undetectable on camera, which is really nice. These also have a nice color range. They have color correcting shades like greens and purples and oranges. So if you have issues where you need to have some color correcting, these are nice for that. I don't remember how much these are. I think around $5, $5.99, maybe $4.99, something like that. So if you're kind of just starting out, this would be a good one to start with. I used to use this one a lot when I was starting out with makeup, but I haven't repurchased it. So I don't know, maybe I just need to come back to it and try it again. So yes, that is my NYX concealer. The next drugstore concealer is the Catrice Liquid Camouflage High Coverage Concealer. I've been using this one recently in my videos. It's a waterproof concealer. It is a high coverage concealer. It blends out really nicely. This is appropriate for dry to oily skin and anything in between. The only thing I don't like about this one is it has kind of a weird scent. I still haven't figured out what it reminds me of, but it's weird, and I don't love that. But these are like $3 a piece. Maybe it was $3.99. I can't remember exactly, but very affordable. and good coverage. So if you're needing high coverage in your under eye area or, you know, anywhere else on your face, these are a really good bang for your buck. Good coverage, good deal, and they work for all skin tones. So these are good. All right, and the next one is the L'Oreal Magic Lumi Highlighting Pen. So this is actually a liquid highlighter. I used to use it as a concealer, but then I looked really oily and I discovered that this is actually a highlighting pen. So you could use it as a concealer if you have normal to dry skin, but I wouldn't recommend using it as a concealer for combination to oily skin. So what I do is I use my concealer under my eyes, and then I use this highlighting pen right on the high points of my cheeks, and it just gives a nice luminosity. But again, this could double as a concealer for someone with normal to dry skin. This one's a little pricier for a drugstore. It's like $10 or $11, and there's really not that much in here. I find I've gone through 2 of these already, and I find that I go through them very quickly, and so I haven't been repurchasing it lately just because it's a little bit pricier for a drugstore brand, and you do go through it pretty quickly, but it definitely does what it says it does, and it illuminates, and it's really beautiful, and it's really easy to blend out. So if the price and the amount doesn't bother you, then I would definitely go check this out. Okay, moving on to my high-end concealers. The first one I want to talk about is my Urban Decay Naked Skin Weightless Complete Coverage Concealer. What I love about these is that they really are full coverage, and they dry down to like a matte finish. So these are really ideal for combination to oily skin, but they would also work for normal to dry skin as well. These blend really nicely. I love the applicator on these. Like, I don't know how to explain it. It's just like a really flexible applicator. So I just feel like it's really easy and quick to get to all the places that you want to get to. It does have a little bit of a scent, but nothing overpowering. It's just kind of like, just reminds me of makeup. Just smells like makeup. I don't know. There's also a good color range for these. I have 2 colors. I have light neutral and fair neutral. So this one's a little dark for my skin tone, and this one is a little bit light. So I kind of mix these together. I think light warm would be my ideal shade. I just got 2 shades and they were the wrong shade. I think light warm is just one that sells out a lot, so it might not have been available when I bought it. But these are really awesome. These are about to run out, and I actually want to go buy light warm. Then I won't have to mix shades all the time. But this is perfect for my skin type because it does dry down matte. It doesn't crease. I didn't mention that about all these other ones. They mostly don't crease. Like if you have, you know, a lot of fine lines under your eyes, you just want to make sure you blend it out really well and then set it with a powder quickly so that they don't crease. But these ones I find really do a good job of not creasing kind of all on their own. I don't have to really work at it, so I love these. These are like one of my ride or die concealers. Woo. Okay, moving on. I have here my MAC Pro Longwear Concealer. This was like the concealer forever, years and years and years before other companies kind of picked up on the fact that like, oh, like we really need to start making good concealers. The thing about the MAC Pro Longwear Concealer is that it does tend to be a little bit drying on the under eye area. So again, if you have like dry skin, normal to dry skin, you might not like this as much, but the coverage is insane with these. These are full coverage concealers, and they are formulated to be long wearing. So this is the kind of concealer that's going to last 8 to 12 hours. These are perfect for brides or bridesmaids, or if you just have an event where you want to put your makeup on and you don't want to have to worry about it the rest of the night, touching up or anything like that. The Pro Longwear concealers are definitely gonna stay put. Also, what I like about this concealer is you only have to use like the tiniest amount, and a little bit goes such a long way, which is nice when you're buying more high-end products like MAC. You know, when you're spending a lot, you want that product to last a long time, and you want it to you want a little bit of product to go a long way. So that's what I really love about these. A little bit goes a long way, and it has a nice pump applicator, which is so nice. It's so much more sanitary than the concealers that have a wand applicator. So I like using this on clients. It's also a nice eyelid primer. It'll prevent your eyeshadows from creasing as long as you set it with a powder. So these are awesome, awesome, awesome concealers. Okay, the IT Cosmetics Bye Bye Under Eye Concealer. This one had a lot of hype. A lot of people were talking about it, and it took me forever to get around to trying it. And to be quite honest, I'm a little disappointed in it. It says it's a full coverage anti-aging waterproof concealer, And it certainly is all of those things. It's definitely full coverage. Well, I guess I can't say that it's anti-aging because I haven't used it long enough for that. But it's waterproof, it's full coverage, and a little bit goes a long way, which is nice too when you buy a pricier foundation. By the way, I don't think I mentioned the price. So the Urban Decay one runs about, I want to say it's $28 for a tube of the Urban Decay wine. The MAC ones are a little bit cheaper. I think this was like $14 or $15 per bottle. This It Cosmetics one I think is around $28 as well, like the Urban Decay one. But again, a little bit goes a long way. I mean, like the tiniest amount. The formula for this is a lot thicker, so it's not as easy to work with or blend out. I found that using my finger is the best way to blend this out because the warmth of my skin kind of helps it to melt down a little bit and it makes it easier to work with as opposed to like a brush or a sponge. So I do find this one is a little bit harder to work with. The number one thing that I disliked about this concealer is that it has a shiny finish. So it just made me look so oily. But again, because it's so thick, if you had really dry skin, I think that this would cling to your dry spots. So I think this is probably ideal for normal skin if you don't have any skin issues. But I think anything on the opposite side of the spectrum from oily to dry skin is going to have a harder time making this work. But for the price and the amount you use, I definitely think that if it worked for you, it'd be very worth paying the price. Again, very full coverage. It will cover those under eye bags or, you know, dark circles under your eyes. It's going to cover all of that. So if you're looking for high coverage, this is definitely the one for you. Okay, the next concealer that I want to talk about is the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer. This is marketed as a very hydrating concealer. It's supposed to actually hydrate your under eye area. So if you do struggle with like a dry under eye area, this is going to be a really great concealer for you. They have a wide selection of colors. Like the color range is really good. I know just in the last few months they added more of a selection of like darker color ranges, so you're likely to find your color. This concealer is $29. This is the small one. I'm talking about the full-size concealer is $29. I don't remember how much the mini one was. But anyway, this one, similar to the Maybelline Fit Me, does have a very radiant finish, so I find that I have to powder it well, and I might have to keep up with this throughout the day, like use oil blotting papers. But if you had normal to dry skin, this is going to be a really great concealer for you. It's very hydrating, it has very full coverage, and it's very creamy, very blendable. It's a really great concealer if you're really looking for something that is very hydrating for your under eye area. The Tarte Shape Tape Contour Concealer. It took me forever to get my hands on this because the first 3 shades in the set were like always sold out. This is exclusive to Ulta, so you cannot buy this anywhere except for Ulta. This concealer is also marketed as like a hydrating concealer, but I find that it doesn't have like a dewy finish. It does have like a skin-like finish, but it doesn't make me look oily at all. It's also marketed as a very lightweight concealer, which that depends on how much you use. If you use as much as like I see some beauty gurus use, like I don't see how in any way it would feel lightweight. I do think that this is a heavier concealer, but it doesn't feel like super thick. So yeah, I just use a really small amount of this, which I love because this one's actually $24, and you get twice as much concealer in this as you do like a typical concealer tube. So this is huge as far as a bang for your buck type of product because you get about twice the amount of concealer in this tube, and you only need the tiniest amount to get good coverage. This is a full coverage concealer. It blends really nicely. It has a scent, but it's very citrusy. So it's not like overly perfumey or anything like that, but it does kind of have a citrusy scent. It's a vegan product, so if that matters to you, this would be a good product for you. This is like my favorite concealer right now. It just has such good coverage, it blends so nicely, it has such a nice finish to it, it looks beautiful. It's designed for all skin types, so this would work if you're anywhere on the range from oily all the way to dry skin. This is going to be a great concealer for you, and you can use less if you don't want a super full coverage look, you know, with like a damp sponge that's going to help sheer it out, or you can use more and use like a brush to blend it out to get a more full coverage. So this is really just ideal for anybody. This is a great concealer. So yes, this is like my baby right now. My baby concealer, my baby. Okay, the final thing I want to talk about is my Makeup Forever, oh that's upside down, my Makeup Forever Camouflage palettes. It's called the 5 Camouflage Cream Palette. These are cream concealers, so they're very highly pigmented, they're very thick, they're designed for color correction. You can see that there's a green color which is going to counteract any redness on your face. There's an orange color that's going to counteract any blue or purple tones on your face. And then there's just like 3 neutral shades here. This is designed for like light, fair to light skin tone. If you have a lot of hormonal redness, or if you just have very prominent like dark tones under your eyes, this is just going to be a really great palette for you. I honestly do not remember how much this palette is. I want to say like $45, but these palettes will last forever because you just use the tiniest amount. And I use my finger with this one just to really blend it out, because the warmth of my skin kind of makes it more emollient and helps it to blend out really nicely. Yeah, I don't think that you really need a palette like this unless you're like a makeup artist, or again, if you have like kind of some severe skin issues that you're trying to tackle, like acne or acne scarring, then you might want to invest in something like this to give you a really good base underneath. I would use this like underneath my foundation and on top of my foundation. So I'd use the color correcting shades first, put my foundation on, and then I would spot conceal on top of my foundation just to get like the maximum amount of coverage. So these are hardcore extreme coverage, really, really good concealers and color correctors by Makeup Forever. So yeah, that is my concealer collection. I hope you guys learned something today. I hope that you got some good information to help you when you go out and choose a concealer for yourself. So if you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I love hearing in the comments from you guys about how these videos have helped you, or if there's something you would like to see me talk about or film, or if there's a specific look that you would like me to do, please let me know in the comment section below. I love to hear your feedback, and as always, I hope you guys have a fantastic day. Bye!